We'd like to welcome you inside of LeRoy Hayes Field, home of the Bobcats. It's junior varsity football on Two Basins Sports Network, the future of the Bobcats on the voice of the Bobcats. Hope you're having a fantastic evening. We sure are. We just wrapped up some middle school football action. Now we're about ready to transition over to some high school action. The final junior varsity contest of the season, unless you count the upcoming jamboree between the Rocky Mountain Grizzlies, Wind River Cougars, and Thermopolis Bobcats. Other than that, really, that's kind of all we got left. 10-minute quarters for JV, so that's a little bit new to me, I guess. That is actually also the same amount of time in six-man football quarters. I know I keep making a lot of parallels to that, but, well, you can't really blame me, can you? Thermopolis Bobcats looking to continue their high school winning streak over the Warriors this season. The varsity team already won the battle for the belt this past couple weeks ago. JV team looking to come away with a home victory against the Warriors. A little bit breezy down there. I see a couple of jerseys moving. Whistle, and we are underway for some JV football from LeRoy Hayes Field. And they'll try to pick this one up, and they'll run it from the middle to the far side. Tries to stiff arm one. He's got a lot of room to run. Finally brought down. Number 11, Mac Buckner, in on the carry. By the way, we were told about a number change from one of the parents. Oliver Beer, we do believe, is wearing number 51. So the roster says 56, but we were told about that last night by one of the parents. So that'll be something to keep an eye on. I think we might have missed him in that last game that we broadcasted against Glen Rock for the same reason. So the Bobcats ready to go here for their opening play of this drive, this opening drive here. Under center looks to be number 7, Tate Roberts. Takes the snap. It'll be a hand, or a fake hand, or yeah, no, it will be a handoff up the left side, and he'll be brought back by a tribe of Warriors. Number 75 and number 40 were down there mostly. Lucas Tutuk and Michael Bernal, the two sophomores, in on the tackle there for the Warriors. That will keep the clock rolling. It is going to be 2nd down and 9 for the Bobcats. Tate Roberts getting the play here. And looking for a little bit better performance here from the Cats. They lost to the Glen Rock Herders when we were in Glen Rock. That was the last game before we got sick. We were not able to go to Lander. Well, the Lander game was canceled anyway, I believe. So they're going to take the snap. Bobcats did not play Lander because of numbers reasons. And he'll be brought down. And it just looks like down there on the field, we don't see any substitutes really for the Bobcats. We got Carter Hughes Becerra and one other kid wearing their uniform. Then Clint Kimes. They're wearing their uniforms, but they're wearing sweatpants, so we do not think that they're going to be in-game action today. So they have no subs, really. So if anybody gets injured, this game might turn to 9-man real quick. A screen pass to the near side, breaks free. He's going to go down the sideline, brought down out of bounds. The run made by number 11, Mac Buckner, brought down on the play by Johnny Thomas, the sophomore. That's going to be another Bobcat first down as the train rolls by. Can't get really that much better of a setting. It's always awesome when the trains roll by here at LeRoy Hayes Field. I don't think I've ever seen I know Grayble's football field is right next to a train. Hopefully next time we find ourselves in Grayble, hopefully we'll be able to see the trains roll by there too. Takes the snap, a little bit of a low one. They'll hand it off. Nope, they'll fake the handoff, rolling out to the far side. Roberts out of the way, down to the far side to the 30. Brought down by two Warriors on the play. And that's another Bobcat first down. And a very good run there. Tate Roberts making the most of the play he was given there. It was a low snap, and he faked it. He still went ahead with it. He faked the handoff and ran it himself to the far side. Picked up a healthy amount of yards. That's going to be up to the 30-yard line, 10 yards from the red zone for the Bobcats. And there's talks, there's rumors circulating about the Warriors potentially trading spots with Torrington and trading back in 2026. Warriors moving back up to 3A. Those are just rumors from what I know, but I think we took the battle of the belt for granted here. It looks like it'll be a penalty on the play. Of course, that was my source was just Grable's newspaper. I read it this morning. They were talking about rumors for the 2026-2027 realignment, and they were talking about 3 teams. They were talking about Guernsey, they were talking about Worland, they were talking about Torrington. The rumors are that they were going to send Guernsey down to 6-man. Now, that really don't think that's any secret. Guernsey's kind of struggling to field a 9-man team, so the Guernsey Sunrise Vikings they're playing a JV 6-man schedule, so I'm not really that shocked, but the snap and a handoff up the left side. Can't really get too much further than that. But the worrying thing was that they're thinking about putting Worland. Now, this is if they got a resolution to change how they assign the schools to what class, and they're trying to have an even split among the classes, because the current way that they're going, the current cycle with the hard limit, there's going to be like 20 teams in 1A. And now they're worried about volleyball from what I'm hearing, like volleyball and basketball. They're going to have they're talking like there's probably going to be like 24 teams. That one's down, batted down, and still it'll hit the ground. 4th down coming up for the Bobcats. Yeah, so the main concern was that they want to try to avoid having that many teams in Class 1A, or they're even thinking about trying to have a Class 5A for the indoor sports. Probably wouldn't affect football in really any way, but they were talking about football and they were talking about sending Torrington down to 2A and Worland up 3. Now, this was from the Grable newspaper there, but so nothing really to confirm. I don't even think they've even joined together for a meeting yet in Casper, but there's still something to keep a look on. The landscape of 2A might be a little different next season. Might not have a battle for the belt. Drops back to throw, looks for the screen pass. That one is caught. Near side, spin move. And he is pinned in. It'll be 4th down coming up for the Bobcats. The catch made by the 80 of Logan Johnson. It'll be 4th down for the Bobcats, but pretty manageable here. Ooh, what a stop, though. I saw first contact again was made by the sophomore Johnny Thomas. He came in there pretty quickly, made the stop. He had a buddy come in to help him. I thought I saw the 11 of Cade Heinemeyer down there, the freshman. Wait, that name sounds super familiar from basketball. Maybe he played last year. Single back set, drops back to throw. He's going to look over. He's going to launch this one downfield and almost picked off by Johnny Thomas there in the back end of the end zone. And that one I kind of knew that was going to be a little bit hit or miss, because it kind of went out wobbly. Did not look like a very well-organized ball at all. And that is going to be a turnover on downs. The Warriors will get it back. And it's going to be kind of like the middle school game. It's probably going to be another one of those defensive shootouts. And so with that, Bobcats back on defense. Their Warriors coming out for their second offensive series. 5:16 to go, almost halfway through the first quarter. 10 minutes in JV competition, 12 minutes in varsity. I think they did 10 minutes in Glen Rock too, so it'll be a run up to the far side. It is Johnny Thomas on the carry. He is tripped up and brought down. I heard some helmets there clanking, so somebody got a good hit down there about toward the 30-yard line. Thomas picks up 4 on the play. It looks like it'll be 2nd and 6 coming up. Right now, the Warriors just not quite where they need to be here. Actually, now that I think about it, this might be Worland's first offensive series. I think I lost track already, and it's only the first quarter. So if I said second offensive series earlier, I do apologize. A pitch to the outside. He's going to try and run downhill. There's a flag. Lowers the shoulder and makes the hit. Number 19 in on the tackle. That is Tristan Galovich. Makes the tackle on Braylon Kidgel, the freshman. And it looks like it's a penalty on the Warriors. Second down still coming up. I didn't catch the actual call. I just saw that it was on the Warriors. 4:26 to go in the first quarter. That is going to move them back a little ways. Yeah, that's going to pin them almost right there on the red zone for the Bobcats. Not quite where they want to be. So if they turn the ball over here, that could be a very dangerous situation for the Warriors. Takes the snap, rolls out to the left side, tripped. I think he got tripped up there on the play, and he did. Number 77 back there for the Bobcats. That is not on the roster. Yeah, that's a little concerning. And the only 77 I see is Cruz Mascaro, but that's on the varsity roster. He's not, number 77, not on our JV roster. The most up-to-date one. And 77 and Buckner are going to switch sides of the field. They're going to flip the defense here. Third down, they're going to try the screen pass to the far side. It's caught. Easy tackle there for Buckner. And I believe the catch was made by, I want to say it was Logan Moore. Might have been there on the far side. Thought I saw 44. Nope, I did not. It was completely, nope, actually it was Cade Heinemeyer. I do apologize. They have Heinemeyer lined up on that far side. I did see that, so. But while we're on the subject, oh, never mind. He's not. Irez Torres heading out of the game here, the freshman. I smell cinnamon up here. Punt coming up for the Warriors. That one booted pretty deep there. That's going to pin him there at the 45. Muffs it, and he's still going to try and get away with it there. Very lucky break for the 30, or the 80, actually, of Logan Johnson. I apologize. He was back there to return the punt for the Bobcats. So they'll set up 1st and 10. 2:34 to go in the opening quarter of this JV contest. It'll be our last JV broadcast for the Bobcats, but we do have a couple of more JV broadcasts coming up for the football season. We're going to be helping out the Shoshone Wranglers a little bit in a couple of weeks when they head up to Cali to take on the Rocky Mountain Grizzlies. Bit of a prelude to their varsity game that coming week. So we'll be in Cali for JV as Shoshone takes on Rocky, and then we're going to be calling actually another Worland JV game as they'll be taking on the Riverton Wolverines I think the very next week. So it's going to be busy down there in Fremont County for us, I think. Down to the near side, and it's going to be a small gain on the play. Thought I saw number 50 there in on the carry. If so, that was Tyler Morris. So it did get a little bit of a gain there, about a gain of, I want to say, 2. It'll be 2nd and 8. 2:12 to go in the first quarter. It's been a pretty slow game compared to the middle school game. Both sides just kind of, well, to be fair, that first quarter in the middle school game did end scoreless, but there was still some action to be talked about in that first quarter. Takes the snap, hands it off to the near side. A fullback dive. He's got some room and brought down by a tribe of Warriors. The run made by number 31, Tanner DeLay, the freshman running back. And so that'll bring up, just barely Oh, never mind. It will be moving the chains. That is another Bobcat first down. I was going to say I thought it was a little short there, but the referee's moving the chains. 1st and 10 is the call here. The handoff up to the far side. It's delay. And brought down by a tribe of warriors down there. I think the first one to make contact was the 77 of Irez Torres. Aries, or is it Irez or Aries? If someone's watching it from Worland and knows the kid, please do feel free to correct me on that. Speaking of which, please share this with your friends and family. Sure, these kids would definitely appreciate all the support they can get, both here in the stands and on the air. That's part of the reason why we do this, because the JV kids deserve a bit of a spotlight too. Maybe provide a little bit of extra film. That's going to be a botched snap, and he'll fall on it. Good job there by the 7 of Tate Roberts. And the commander-in-chief there just kind of had no other option. He fell on it. That's pretty textbook. At least he didn't try to scoop it up and run with it, cause more issues. That will be 3rd down, though, for the Bobcats. A pretty dire situation on this set of downs. And actually, they're also, because of that snap, they're going to be pinned in behind their own midfield. They're actually going to be there on their own 48-yard line. 48 and a half. Let's just call it that. Oh, we got a timeout, so we will take a quick breather, and we will be right back. You are watching Bobcat JV football. Oh, check that, not a timeout. It's actually the end of the first quarter. We'll be right back on Two Basins Sports Network. Still scoreless at the end of one, reminiscent to the middle school game. We'll be right back in just a moment. You're watching JV football on Two Basins Sports Network, the future of the Bobcats on the voice of the Bobcats. I'd like to welcome you back inside a Hot Springs County High School here at LeRoy Hayes Field, named after the legendary coach LeRoy Hayes. Man, I believe LeRoy would have been proud of what he saw on Friday. Last time we saw the high school boys in action, that win over the Lovell Bulldogs. And the the Wild Preps rankings are getting released either tomorrow or Wednesday, and I can't wait to see what those look like. Do I think the Bobcats are capable of beating like a Bighorn or a Mountain? Well, of course, I think they're capable of beating Mountain View, but Bighorn, it's still a little bit up in the air, but we'll just have to see. Takes the snap, drops back the pass. Roberts throws it to the near side, and it's caught! And he is going to be marked there at about the 35 or 45-yard line. 4th down coming up for the Bobcats, but a fantastic job by Logan Johnson on the reception. He didn't care about yards. He just wanted to haul it in and make sure that they could live to fight another day there. Down to the 30 or 45. It'll be 4th down, and I want to say it'll be either 7 or 6. Yeah, 4th down and 7. How about we just call it that? In shotgun. Way far out, about 5 yards from the ball. In motion. Takes the snap. It'll be a run to the far side, and I don't know why they called that, to be frank. A quarterback keeper to the outside. What did they expect would happen there? 1st and 10. It'll be a turnover on downs. So with that, Worland will have now. I know I made a mistake in that last quarter saying it was their second offensive series. Now it is their second series, and we're still scoreless. Now it's going to be kind of one of those games. I feel like the Bobcats have had an extraordinary defense the past couple of years, and this is, I guess, it's kind of bleeding over to the JV team now, as we've seen a lot of low-scoring contests with the JV games that we have covered. It was like 2 of them, but still. Takes the snap. The handoff goes up through the middle, and he is wrestled down. Didn't see who got the tackle, but the run was made there by Michael Bernal of the Warriors. They'll bring up second down, and I want to say 6 for Worland. Might actually be 7. Yeah, it is 7. That ball is placed at about the 49-yard line, 49 and a half, in Bobcat territory. So they have made it into Bobcat territory. That much can be said for this drive. Sorry if it got a little bit tunnely there. I bent down to get my roster. Near side, that is going to be a pickup maybe of 1 or 2 if they're lucky. Third down. So that is going to pin them at the 48-yard line. So third down coming up. Eight minutes and 4 seconds to go in the opening half of this JV contest. Almost guaranteed to go under the lights here in this one. I'd say like a 95% chance. Or 98 more like. Takes the snap, drops back to throw, under pressure, throws it to the far side. And incomplete is what they're going to call it there. Referee saw something that I didn't, that's for sure. I think maybe didn't get enough feet down to justify the call. 4th down and 5. That will stop the clock as a result of the incompletion. 7:36 to go. And Worland all out. Not quite empty. It's single back. 1 man under center here. Takes the snap. Drops back to throw. Under pressure. Throws to the far side. And it's almost picked up, but it doesn't matter. It'll be a turnover on downs for the Warriors. And again, the Ferris wheel continue, or the, what's it called? The carousel continues here, as nobody able to score in this game so far. Still 0-0. A defensive masterclass for both sides. 7:30 to go in the second quarter. Now my question is to the coaches out there, would you rather it be 0-0, or would you rather it be, I don't know. Would you rather it be 0-0? Would you rather there be a couple of touchdowns on the board at this point in the game? With you both tied, and he's going to cough up the ball. It was kind of one of those knock-ons you'd see in Australian rules football. It looked like he kind of just punched it out himself there. Second down coming up for the Bobcats. They get super lucky on the recovery. 7:12 to go in the second quarter. No, not really any reason to panic. They're not. It's gridlock. I mean, I've seen. Honestly, I think I've seen less congestion in downtown Casper, and that's saying a lot. They just keep. I mean, the defense has just been on its toes all night. Looks like double wing here for the Bobcats, and it looks like we're gonna have a flag. Might be false start. Yep, false start on the offense according to the white hat. That is going to bring up still second down, but a lot more yards that they need to cover here. And it looks like a timeout has been called for the Bobcats, so we're going to step aside pretty briefly, and we'll be right back live from the press box here at LeRoy Hayes Field. It's still gridlocked down there, 0-0. Bobcats with possession on their own 40-yard line. We'll be back. You're watching JV football on Two Basins Sports Network. I'd like to welcome you back here inside of Hot Springs County High School at LeRoy Hayes Field. Like we said before we went off the air, gridlock here at LeRoy Hayes Field. It's still scoreless, 0-0. Second down in a lot. I want to say second down in 19. Drops back to throw. Roberts lets it fly and intercepted by Mason Tigner, the basketball player, showing some hops, and he is going to get hit. Lit up there by delay. He'll go out of bounds. Mason Tigner. Didn't know he played football. He's a good kid, I'll tell you that much. The freshman there on the pick, 6:26 to go. The kind of turnover there that Worland needed there. That is going to also put him inside the Bobcat 40. Bit of an ill-advised pass there by Roberts. He's got an arm, I'll give him that, but unfortunately I think he might have overthrown his receiver there. There's probably some people yelling at the TV screen right now saying, "You think?" Takes a snap, hands it off to the near side. Misses one tackle, but wrapped up and taken down. The run made there by number 24, Braylon Kidgel. By the way, these uniforms are very familiar to me. These are, I think these are the uniforms that the Warriors wore back in like 2015. I was still in middle school, actually, or elementary. Well, it was either elementary or middle school when I remember these guys wearing these uniforms. But that number font is something that I am ashamed to admit I'm familiar with. 5:45 to go here, second down, and I want to say 3. Again, they don't light that up on the LED here during these JV games. Takes a snap and a pitch to the outside. Running with it is Michael Bernal, and he is going to get taken down close to the sticks. Third down and short. Looks to be the call. Good job by the Bobcats so far for holding on. 5:20 to go. And Worland trying everything they can. They're getting yards. Okay, they're making positive yards. I don't think I've seen them lose yards very often today. So that's good credit to their offense for that. But they haven't exactly been making any Saquon Barkley runs either. Takes the snap, fakes the pitch, fakes the pitch and takes the handoff up to the right side, a fullback dive, and it'll be enough for a Warrior first down with 4:45 left on the board in this JV contest. I have a feeling the Warriors are going to draw first blood here. I kind of just have that feeling. But it's been gridlocked for the last 15 minutes and 33 seconds. I'm pretty sure those zeros are getting tired. Oh, bam, there we go. We got a jump there off of Hunter Ruffing. That's probably going to be a false start. And they're going to have a sub coming on. Looks to be Braylon Kidgel. And that is false start on the Warriors. Looks like it'll probably still be first down, though. First and 15 is your situation here for the Warriors. In case you're just tuning in, completely scoreless with 4 minutes to go. Taking the snap, hands it off in a reverse. It looked like they go to the near side, breaks the tackle, and he'll be brought down. I believe it was Roberts on the tackle, and the run made by Logan Moore, the freshman. A lot of freshmen on this Worland roster. They could probably afford to field a freshman team if they really wanted to. You know what? Maybe they should be moved back up to 3A. Second down, and I want to say 2 here. Takes the snap. A run to the near side. He's got space and breaks the tackle, and he's in. Touchdown, Warriors. Braylon Kidgel on the touchdown run. And the score finally breaks here at LeRoy Hayes Field, 6-0. And now I'm curious what they're going to try to do here for this point after. And it looks like they're going to go for 2 here, it looks like. Takes the snap, drops back to throw. Under pressure, looks to his left side, and it's brought in. Number 81, Hunter Ruffing, in on the reception for the 2-point conversion. That'll be enough to make it an 8-0 ball game here. The Warriors on top. And we're going to step aside and we're going to take a quick break. The first score of the game finally comes. The Warriors on top, 8-zip here at LeRoy Hayes Field. We'll be right back in just a moment. You're watching JV football on Two Basins Sports Network. Like talking you back. Hunter Ruffing punches in the 2-point conversion after the pass caught by Braylon Kidgel. At least I think I remember that correctly. Warriors back to kick it away. Number 44, Logan Moore, the freshman, back to kick. And they'll go to the middle here. Ball bounces. Bobcats struggle to pick it up. They'll pick it up, run from far side to middle. They'll have it on the hashes there, and a lot of cheers coming from the Worland side of the field. Not the first time we've seen that far side filled by Worland fans. Had a lot. We definitely had a lot show up to the rivalry game last year. That entire first time in my entire life I'd ever seen that away section so full. And for a JV contest, there's more Warriors in the stands than Thermop. So here we go. Yeah, Bobcats under center. It'll be a run to the near side, and saw a little bit of a hit there. He's still fighting. Breaks off. Oh, he finally brought down, but it took a lot to get him there. The tackle finally made by Edgar Fernandez, the sophomore. A fantastic tackle at that. And Fernandez getting his shoulder pads readjusted there. Hunter Ruffing being a good teammate. So this could be very well a pass here for the Bobcats. They got even receivers to both sides here. Single back set. Sends a man in motion. Going around him there. It'll be a handoff to the far side. And it'll be enough for a Bobcat first down. They'll move the chains, stop the clock temporarily to get the chain gang ready and get the ball set. 2 minutes to go in the second quarter of action. You're watching junior varsity football on TBSN. Future of the Bobcats here on the voice of the Bobcats. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, pitches it to the far side, running downhill, trying to stay on his feet, and finally brought down close to the 40. Should be second down coming up, and a timeout has been called for the Bobcats. They'll use their second timeout of 3 here, and we'll be back in just a moment. Thermopolis Bobcats trail 8-0 here at home. You're watching junior varsity football here on Two Basins Sports Network, the voice of the Bobcats. And Thermopolis again with their second timeout. We'll be back. We'd like to welcome you back here inside of Hot Springs County High School at LeRoy Hayes Field, home of the Bobcats. 8-0 is your current score. Second down and 7 looks to be the call here. Shotgun set for the Bobcats. Takes the snap, drops back to pass, looks to his right side. It's caught. I believe it's delay on the reception. Nope, check that it's not. And a flag! He coughs it up! And that is got to be one of the biggest hiccups I've ever seen. He'll run that into the end zone after catching it on the fumble. Number 75, Lucas Tutak, but it might not stand as there was a flag. And they are extremely lucky there. Oh, man. If that would have counted. They're going to call face mask on Worland, so they got I can't even. There was a golden horseshoe somewhere there. Second down. Actually, no, it should be an automatic first down, I think, because it was a 15-yarder. So that's another Bobcat first down. I don't really think Lucas Tutak really even cares. I think he's just happy to have gotten that kind of play to begin with. So Bobcat first down, 1:22 to go in the half. 2 men to the near side, looks like it's twins. Takes the snap and bobbles it. Tate Roberts still picks it up. He's going to get one off and almost picked off. And once again, it was Edgar Fernandez. And actually, I think I take that back. It might have been Irez Torres that got that fumble. Or no, it wasn't. It was Tutak. No, it was Tutak. So talking about that play before the last play here. One that was called back. 2nd and 10 off the incompletion. Very good attempt, though, by Roberts. He's trying. But his receivers need to put him in a little bit of a better position here. And I try to empathize with the QB as much as I can. It's a very difficult position to play. Runs it up the middle. Finds some room and a flag. A first down for the Bobcats if it's on Worland. 1:06 to go here. Let's see what it is. And it's holding on the offense, so that is going to be 10 yards there for the Bobcats. That's going to pin them back a little ways here. At least they get to keep the down, I think. Nope, they're going to say 5 yards on the holding. 1:06 to go here. And as an offensive lineman, I guess I can kind of accept why. I mean, it's just, as a lineman, you're kind of more focused on making sure the guy doesn't get to your QB. You're not really focused on where your hands are at that moment. Still got to try, though. That's going to be a run up the middle. Big play here. First down for the Bobcats. No flags. A huge run on the play there for the purple and gold. And that was, I want to say it was Tanner DeLay, and it was. Timeout has been called. And it is Worland timeout, so we're going to step aside again as Worland will use their first timeout. And we'll be right back. You are watching, or sorry, no, that is Thermopolis timeout. I apologize for that. Referee said timeout black, and my mind immediately went to Worland because of the color we have for them on our scoreboard. But we'll be right back in just a moment. 8-0, Warriors on top. I'd like to welcome you back here inside of Hot Springs County High School, home of the Bobcats, LeRoy Hayes Field. One man lined up to the left. It's going to be, they got nobody on that left side. And they're going to fire off, throws it up to the right side. That is going to be caught. Oh, yeah, he hauled it in. Number 40 on the catch. That is Stetson Moody. Referee said he hauled it in. And the Worland coach is furious. He was screaming to the referees that he saw it hit the ground. The Worland coach is incensed. And he continues to just make a scene on the far side. Don't know. I mean, as a coach myself, I get it, right? But, like, that's just... And he's going to draw the Worland players in a little tighter here. 32 seconds left on the board. A little bit of congestion. Roberts will run it himself. He's got to the far side. He's got room to run. And he's wrestled down. I think that will be a Bobcat first down. And the coach is urging the players to get in formation here. That's going to be a spike. And a Worland defensive lineman was down there. He was trying to intercept the spike. 12.8 seconds left on the board. Third down, might be fourth down now. Tate Roberts getting the play here. Bobcats have no timeouts. That's why they were in such a rush. Third down's coming up here. Or fourth down. Apologize. Oh, well, never mind. They're going to... Chain gang was a little bit mixed on that. It's actually, well, it looks like they're going to say third down. I wish we had that electronic yard thing that Worland has. But we got a timeout called here. Looks like Worland is going to use their first of three, and we'll be right back from inside of the press box here at Hot Springs County High School here at LeRoy Hayes Field. Thermopolis Bobcats Thermopolis Bobcats trail 8-0. We'll be right back. Warriors back on the field. We'd like to welcome you back here inside the press box here at Hot Springs County High School. 8-0 is your score here. By the way, we forgot to give a player of the game for the middle school game. I meant to give that to that Mangus kid that was on the 7th grader. So I apologize for that if you tuned into our middle school broadcast and didn't get to hear what the player of the game was. Throws it over the middle. That's picked off. A flag is currently up, but a turnover there by the 30 for Worland, and they're going to wave it off, I think. Jaden Marchant there. Beautiful job, though. Might be a defensive penalty here. I think that's what they're saying. So that, another bailout there for the Bobcats, frankly. Ooh, I think they called pass interference there on the Warriors. Yeah, they called pass interference. Yeah, half the distance to the goal line there for the Bobcats, so very lucky break. Eight nothing still your score. Bobcats trying to make it a little more even. They kind of have to go for two if they do score, even if they do have the leg to do it. Sends a man in motion. Linebacker trying to stay with him. Takes the snap, hands it off up the middle. And he definitely lost some yards there. And that is going to end the first half of play. I completely forgot where we were in the quarter. That is going to send us into halftime. The Warriors lead 8-0. I do believe the Warriors will get the ball to start the second half, so that'll be something to keep an eye on. We'll be right back from LeRoy Hayes Field here in just a moment. The score sits 8-0. Bobcats going to have to try to counter here in this second half. We'll be back in 10 minutes for the start of the second quarter, but for now, we'll step aside. Worland Warriors on tap. You're watching Junior Varsity Football on Two Basins Sports Network. The future of the Bobcats on the voice of the Bobcats. I'd like to welcome you back here inside of the press box here at LeRoy Hayes Field, home of the Bobcats. Second half about ready to start, and it's been a very entertaining game so far from start to finish. Warriors lead 8-0. And JV football on TBSN, brought to you by viewers like y'all here on the YouTube channel, also our followers here over on Facebook. Stay up to date with all things TBSN. Follow us over there. That's where a lot of our stream updates and stuff will usually be posted. 8-0 is your score, and a lot of great football being played here so far. As the Warriors, the only ones to score so far, and it's been an interesting first half for them. It took them until about the final 3 minutes or so of that opening half to score their first points, and I kind of have this feeling that it's going to be a bit of a low scorer here today. Run to the near side and tries to get by the returner, number 80, Edgar Fernandez. And he will be brought down for a pretty decent return out to about I thought they marked him down at like the 43, 42 yard. There they did. And it's been really fun to watch the Worland offense work its magic tonight. Even if they haven't really gotten so much on the board, they're still doing really well with their I'm really impressed with their passing game mostly. They've been able to try to look a little bit downfield, even though they are running for their lives because of the Bobcat D-line. Sending a man in motion, Cannon Tiedemann. And he'll bull rush his way through, down to the near side, up to the 50-yard line. Cannon Tiedemann, that is a name that comes pretty familiar to me from soccer season. Played on the varsity team as a freshman last year during the soccer season. Played on the right end or on the far end of the field most matches. 8:36 to go here. Takes the snap. Looks to the near side, and he is going to get wrapped up and taken to the ground. Number 40 or number 50 on the tackle. That is Tyler Morris that got the hit there. And we're now down through our first 2 minutes of this third quarter. Worland not quite in Bobcat territory yet. Third down and 2 coming up here. They made some pretty good progress here on this set of downs. They haven't really had to do too much here. Takes the snap and a run up the middle, and he'll get there for the first down. And an explosive run there by Braylon Kidgel, the freshman. Enough to pick up a Warrior first down. And so with that, Worland is going to make a sub. Braylon Kidgel makes a solid run for the first down, and then they take him out of the game. But Worland's got a pretty deep bench over there on that far side, so don't really blame them too much for that. Trying to use as many people and get them as much playing time as they can. Sending a man in motion, it's Tiedemann. Tiedemann goes across, takes the snap. It'll be a pitch to the far side, number 40 with it. And he's got a pretty healthy pickup there. Michael Bernal was the one on the run, the sophomore. So that will bring up a Warrior 2nd and 4, I want to say. And some news. I just got a text from Walmart. Our camera has been shipped. So hopefully it won't be a blurry mess like what you see on your screen right now. Trust me, I'm about as frustrated as everyone else is. 6:26 to go here. It'll be a run to the near side, and another good run there for Bernal. And he was fighting the whole way. Getting a little chippy down there. There was a little bit of pushing and shoving. First, and that's another Warrior first down. Maybe I was just seeing things. So we're trying to get our upcoming broadcast schedule for you here. Our next broadcast we got in store for you will be on October 2nd as we travel up to down to Riverton as the Thermopolis Bobcats take on the Riverton Spartans for middle school football. Then we got volleyball in Cali the next day. Rolls out to the right side, throws it deep to the sticks, and he hauls it in for the catch. Fantastic job by the receiver on the far end. I didn't see who it was. Yeah, the month of October is going to be a lot of action for us here on TBSN as we get close to the end of football season. I can't believe I'm saying that. Football just does not last long enough in the state of Wyoming. Have them start in mid-August, a 10-game schedule, and then they'll be good. Hand off to the near side, tries to get through. He finds a hole, and brought down by number 77, and a flag on the play. So let's see what the flag is. It is holding on the Warriors. So that'll put them back a little ways. They had a pretty good run there to the near side off of, I want to say it was Edgar Fernandez, I think. Won't matter, though. It's going to put, oh, my good Lord. It is 1st and 25. Yeah, good luck making that up. 5:30 to go here. Almost halfway through the third quarter. It's been a fun night of football. The middle school game was a barn burner. This game is looking like it could come down to a good finish if Worland doesn't score here. Takes the snap, drops back to throw. He's under heavy pressure in hot pursuit. He's going to run it himself to the near side, inside the 20. And he'll be brought out of bounds by Tate Roberts. And that will stop the clock, at least temporarily. And that's going to be another Warrior first down. Or no, check that. It will not be. I apologize for that. It'll actually be 2nd and 5. That run looked a lot more than it actually was. By the way, just noticed Cade Heinemeyer is wearing a Guardian cap out there. I don't think I've actually seen a Guardian cap in use in the state of Wyoming yet. I know there's a dude for the Packers, Romeo Dobbs, that wears a Guardian cap. And everyone was kind of making a big deal about it last summer, but not very many people wearing them. There'll be a run to the near side. 4:56 to go in the third quarter. A run to the near side results in a 3rd down, a 2-yard pickup on the carry. 3rd down and 3 coming up. And I believe they're close to the red zone. Oh, no, check that. They're way inside the red zone. So I forgot to say red zone alert for the Worland Warriors. About the 13-yard line is where they are. And it is almost completely pitch black outside here in Thermopolis. We've had to turn the lights on here in the press box. Takes the snap. And he's going to roll out to the far side. Looks to throw under pressure. Throws to the end zone. Incomplete. And that'll stop the clock. 4th down coming up for the Warriors. With 4:10 to go in the third quarter. Both teams still with all 3 of their timeouts here. And now what do the Warriors do? They have a lead. Do they wonder if they're going to? Nope. I don't think they sent in any subs. I don't know if they're going to go for a kick. I doubt that a 2A JV team would try that, but never know. I've been surprised before. Well, they're going to go for it, looks like. Looks like pro set here, and that is going to be a timeout called here for the... And they said timeout white, so that is going to be a Worland timeout. So we're going to step aside real quick, and we'll take a quick break. Still 8-0. Fourth down for the Warriors. We'll be back from LeRoy Hayes Field. You're watching Junior Varsity Football on Two Basins Sports Network, the future of the Bobcats on the voice of the Bobcats. Like talking you back inside of LeRoy Hayes Field, home of the Bobcats. 8-0 is your score. Worland on top. And my thing still says halftime. I apologize for that. Keep forgetting to change that. Third quarter here. Bobcats currently trail 8-0 in their final JV contest of the season. They will have a jamboree here against Rocky and Wind River. Rolls out to the right side on fourth down, under pressure, throws to the far side, and it's caught, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Warriors. Oh, there is a flag on the play. So hold the celebration. Oh, they're going to say ineligible man downfield, I think was the call. Yep, there they go. Ineligible man downfield on the Warriors. Fourth down. I think they'll keep it here. And so, very interesting situation there for the Warriors. First time we've seen anybody get nabbed for that in a long time. And so Bobcats will have another chance here. Touchdown taken off the board. 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter. That'll amount to 14 minutes and 2 seconds to go in the entire game. Takes the snap. Rolls out to the right side. He's going to run it himself toward the sticks. A first down, and he's going to get there. That's about it. And that will move the chains. First and goal for the Warriors. Not a touchdown, but it will at least give him a couple of extra plays here. 3:54. Clock will stop as he goes out of bounds. And let's see what the Warriors have here. So first and goal. Ball is definitely inside the 5 here. Takes the snap. A handoff up the right side. He'll be brought down by a pride of Bobcats. A good run there. And I think the run was made by number 30 or 24. Braylon Kidgel. He's been a favorite target here on the run. You know, for good reason too, frankly. He's had a heck of a night so far as the running back here tonight. So our last broadcast until Thursday with that Riverton Spartans game. Then we're going to be on the road again. A road trip up to Cali as the volleyball team takes on Rocky Mountain. And then we got Powell that's Saturday. So we're going to be all over the northern half of the state here. And he'll be marked short of the goal line. Well, I mean, you know, Riverton's in the southern end of the state, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. I consider anything above the canyon like North Wyoming. Like anything north of Casper, I guess. So here we go. Third down for the Warriors. 3rd and goal. Clock still running. Bobcats trying to keep them out of the end zone any way they can. Don't know if we'll see a field goal from Worland if it's 4th down. And he's going to get the hurried throw. Did he get there? Incomplete. It was a good throw. Just couldn't haul it in. And that'll be 4th down for the Bobcats. And sometimes, when I just kind of instinctually just whenever there's a pass there on that far end, I just instinctively look to the referee. Probably a good habit to have in my line of work anyway. Takes a snap. And he's under a lot of pressure and he's brought down. What a sack. And I'm trying to see who it was. Number 21. 21, Jacoby Elder. And that is a turnover on downs for the Warriors. They'll give it back to the Bobcats. Might want to train one of those legs on the team to kick a field goal. Worland is a soccer school. One of the founding ones, I think, actually. They got a lot of talent on the soccer team, too. You don't win multiple state championships in the last 10 years by sucking at soccer. That should go without saying, I guess. And we got a fumble. I believe there was a call. Nope, they're going to pick it up either way if there was one, but Worland was acting like there was. 2 minutes to go in the 3rd. Again, the clock has been running pretty efficiently here tonight. A lot of run plays, very few pass plays. Except for on the Worland side, they have had Heinemeyer roll out and pass quite a bit tonight in this 3rd quarter, but most of the time they just keep it on the ground. I mean, that's just, like I say this all the time, that is just textbook two-way football for you. That you just run it and just pound it through. And a run up the far side. Stopped a little bit there, 2nd down. At least I think it is. Or it should be 3rd down. Yeah, there we go. 3rd down for the Cats. 1 minute to go here in the 3rd quarter. 11 minutes to go in the rest of this game. This 4th quarter is going to be very interesting. I'm actually really intrigued to see how this is going to end. They'll send a man in motion. And it'll be to the far side, and they will get the tackle. I think I'm trying to see who was on the run. Clock will continue to run here, though. 34 seconds. Eight nothing still. That score has not changed at all since the mid-2nd quarter. And right now we're looking, unless there's a freak fumble here on this play, we're looking at 2 consecutive opening quarters to halves here, or both opening quarters in the half. And got a problem there on that far side. 4th down, and that should be a turnover on downs here for the Bobcats. And, yep, that's exactly what we're looking at here. Or no. Is it? Yes, it is. Okay, so Worland will have the ball here. 4 seconds, 4/10 of a second there added on to it, too. Maybe we might not get a scoreless 3rd quarter. This could very well, they could run it in last second here. First and 10 for the Warriors. Under center, has a man in the backfield ready to go. Single back set. Takes a snap, pitches it to the left side, weaves his way through. We will not have a touchdown in this third quarter. That will conclude the third quarter. And 10 more minutes to go in this game, and that will end it in the third. We'll be right back from LeRoy Hayes Field in just a moment. 8-0 is your score. We'll be back on Two Basins Sports Network. Like talking back here inside of LeRoy Hayes Field, home of the Bobcats. Fourth quarter about ready to get underway in this JV game. Final JV contest of the year for the Bobcats, unless they schedule another one between now and the end of the season, which not looking likely. They canceled the Lander game, as far as I'm aware, due to numbers concerns, and you look at the Bobcats here, I'm kind of surprised the score's not more, considering they don't have any subs to play with. Everyone is just kind of staying on the field 24/7. They'll run it up the near side, lowers himself, and that'll be a first down. Not a touchdown, though. Good tackle, though, on that near side. A good touchdown-saving tackle. And so this game, if Worland punches it in, it's going to be a little bit more difficult with the way the Bobcats have been moving the ball on offense. Probably not going to see them really come back too much here in this game, unless something interesting happens. Takes the snap, handoff, and he's stuffed. But did he get in there? They're saying he might have been just a little short. And it looks like that's what they're going to say. Second down coming up here. Bobcats need to get set here. Oh, no, never mind. First and 10 for the Cats. I'm so sorry. First and 10. I think there might have been a fumble there. So let's see what the Bobcats have. They have a chance here. Warriors moving in. They got their linebackers stacked on top here. Takes a snap. Oh, surprised that was actually, wow. Really shocked that that wasn't called a. And that's a safety. They got him in the end zone. It's been a while since we've seen a safety on this these broadcasts, but Worland leads 10-0. So that's going to force the Bobcats to deliver a free kick here. And we will take a quick break. Free kick for the Bobcats coming up when we come back. We'd like to welcome you back here inside of LeRoy Hayes Field, home of the Bobcats. 9:08 left on the clock. Worland getting the safety which that might make things just a little bit more complex for the Bobcats. They may not have scored the touchdown, but the Worland Warriors do walk away from that side of the field with a score nonetheless. Free kick coming up here. And he is going to boot this one up to the near side, muffs it, and picks it up. He'll dance his way to the middle, wrapped up, taken down the run there by Johnny Thomas. And so with that, 9 minutes to go in tonight's game. Middle school team lost to Lovell 12 to 6. Came down to a last-second pass by Will Garrison. Unfortunately, wasn't completed. And that ended the Bobcats' night there. They'll play Riverton on Thursday. JV team currently down 10-0. And a run to the outside, still driving, and it has to be brought down by a pride of Bobcats on the far side. And he's the last one to get up there, number 11. I must say, Mac Buckner's had a pretty decent night tonight on the defensive side of the ball. And so here we go. About ready to get back into this here. Takes the snap and a handoff to the far side. He's driving, and brought down in a pile down there. And coming up in about 6 minutes, we will have our Two Basins Sports Network Player of the Game. Player that we thought is most deserving of the title tonight. Player that has made the most impact for his team. That is coming up at the about 2 minute mark here. 1 minute mark. Actually, yeah, it's pretty customary. We do it at the 1 minute mark. So third down here in about 3. Or not really. About third down and 4. Tries to go to the far side, and he is running for his life down there. He is going to be brought down. Decent effort by Cade Heinemeyer. .707 to go in this game. Hopefully the Spiders do their job here soon. There are a lot of gnats that have made their way into the press box here as a result of the light. And it's late September, you know, still a little bit on the moist side here. It goes to the far side, and it's caught. And he'll break one tackle, won't break the second. Trying to see who it was there on the run. Number 84, Mason Tigner. And so with that, Worland going to try again. Fresh set of downs. That's another Warrior first down, by the way. And Bobcats making a play call here. Let's see what they got. In motion. Takes the snap on a pitch to the outside. Breaks one tackle, going low. Breaks two, breaks three, breaks four. Won't break the fifth. And a shoulder hit down there by number 7, Tate Roberts on the tackle. Good effort there by the Bobcats. Took the whole team down there, though, to take him down. That's just how explosive of a run game Worland has had tonight. Second down and 8. Let's see what they got here. looks like a pro set here. Takes a snap. Or no, in motion, I apologize. And takes the snap to the far side. Still going. I want to say there on the run was Jaden Marchant. A good run there. I mean, we've been talking a lot, but I think the O-line has been doing its job tonight for the Warriors. It's why they're in this position here. Bobcat D-line is kind of Glen Rock all over again. They're kind of missing a lot of their pursuits to the outside, I'm noticing. And middle school was having the opposite problem. Like we said earlier, they were doing good on the outside edge, but really couldn't do anything up the middle. And they will flip the defense here. Linebackers on the outside will try to contain here. Looking like a pass rush. So this one will go to the near side and almost picked off. I think it was either Roberts or somebody else down there on the interception attempt. 4:51 to play in this game. That will wrap up our action for the night. We'll have player of the game for you in about 2 minutes, or 3 minutes and 51 seconds. .451 left on the clock here. Clock will not run. 4th down coming up for the Warriors. This game not over yet. Not even close. Oh, well, it pretty much is there. Oh, no, I thought it was a foul or a penalty. I think Worland will call a timeout, so we will take a quick breather. And we will be right back. Yep, Worland timeout. They're down to their final timeout of the game. We'll be back in just a moment. You're watching JV football on Two Basins Sports Network, the future of the Bobcats on the voice of the Bobcats. Like talking you back here inside of Hot Springs County High School at LeRoy Hayes Field. Junior varsity football. We got some middle school games coming up, or a middle school game coming up for you on Thursday as the Thermopolis middle school team takes a trip down to Riverton to take on the Spartans at Wolverine Stadium. We do encourage you to come out if you can, but it'll be right here on CBSN if you can't. And it'll be a catch to the near side off the screen pass. Gets low, breaks a tackle, and goodbye. Touchdown, Warriors. Braylon Kidgel in on the touchdown. I believe that's his second of the day. No flags that don't look like either. Yep, touchdown will stand. Oh, wrong one there. There we go. And that's just a tackle that you have to make there on the near side. They're going a little too low. I feel like they're not, or a little too high. I feel like, and they're not making they're leaving their feet. They're not making their tackles. There's a lot of stuff going wrong there on that near side on the outside edge. And so with that, Worland will try to go for two here, make it 18-0. Sends a man in motion. Looks to be Fernandez. Takes the snap, screen pass. It's caught. And he'll get on in. I believe it was Fernandez that he gave it to for the 2-point conversion, and that is going to definitely seal it here, I feel like. 4:40 coming up here. We'll be back in just a moment from LeRoy Hayes Field. Don't go anywhere. Like talking you back here inside of LeRoy Hayes Field, home of the Bobcats. I just realized we did not switch our scene there. 18-0 is your score as the Bobcats trail against the Worland Warriors. A run to the outside edge by Braylon Kidgel is the one that kind of put in the dagger here for the Cats. Unfortunately, a lot of stuff that they're going to need to work on before the Jamboree. And the kick is up. Far side gets the return. And he'll try to dance his way through. Finds a hole, and he'll be immediately swallowed up. Still on his feet and brought down. Ooh, the last one I saw come in there was Cade Heinemeyer, the Guardian Cap, making the final tackle there. It was a good bit of a group tackle there. Couldn't see who was there on that near side, though, to make that initial hit. 18-0 is your score, as the Bobcats will try to get at least something on the board. Bobcats lining up. Looks like twins set here. Or no, it's not. Just single back. Takes the snap a little bit low. Takes the handoff. Swallowed up immediately. The run attempt there by Mac Buckner. .418 to play in this game. Bobcats, like we said, trying to get at least something on the board here to end this. Walk away with some pride points here. And it's just been kind of a rough game, mostly offensively. Defensively, it's been a pretty solid game for the Bobcats, but offensively, it's just been, that's just kind of been the story of this JV team. They had a good defense against Glen Rock, just couldn't make it happen on the road. And just mistakes like that making things worse as Tate Roberts gets swallowed up. He does pick up the fumble, though, and I will give Tate some credit. But a timeout called by the Bobcats. They'll use their first one of the half, and we'll be right back in just a moment. Like talking back here inside of LeRoy Hayes Field, home of the Bobcats. Sorry, I had a bug there in my face. Some under the lights JV action from Hot Springs County High School. And it's been some pretty bright lights for Worland. They're doing really well, 18-0. Roberts dropping back to throw. Has time, throws to the near side, overthrows. And that pass intended for Logan Johnson. He threw it just a little bit above his helmet there. So that'll bring up third down for the Bobcats. Well, just a lot that they need to. Just a lot they need to work on here. Yeah, it's just the defense is doing just fine. I feel like that's been the biggest strength of the entire Bobcat program has been the defense, but offense needs a lot of work. It's just that's just how it is, both varsity and JV and middle school. Roberts drops back to throw, slings the rock, and way overthrows his man. It was a pretty looking pass, but just not anywhere close to where he wanted it to. And I believe his main target there was, I think he was trying to get that to Mac Buckner, I think. Yeah, that's Mac Buckner for sure. I think that's exactly who he was trying to target there. Just couldn't get it done. And so 4th down here. Oh, shoot, there was a timeout. Well, we might as well. Oh, no, there wasn't. Yeah, there was. Check that. So it was a Worland timeout. They'll use their final one of the half. We'll be right back in just a moment. As Worland up 18-0, currently 1st and 10. By the way, it was a turnover on downs. I am so sorry. My brain is so scrambled tonight for some reason. We'll be right back in just a moment. I'd like to welcome you back here inside of LeRoy Hayes Field, home of the Bobcats. 18-0 your score as the Thermopolis Bobcats take on the Worland Warriors for some junior varsity action. JV getting revenge for the varsity game in Worland. Seems like the Warriors have been using LeRoy Hayes Field as their playground ever since the belt has been reintroduced. Or introduced, I should say. A run up the middle there for Edgar Fernandez. This kid's had a pretty good game tonight, all things considered. Haven't called his name out a lot, but when we do, it's usually nothing negative. So 2nd down and 6 coming up for the Warriors. Like we said, this is the last contest for JV unless they schedule another game. There is a jamboree here at LeRoy Hayes Field, though, between the Bobcats. They'll be hosting the Rocky Mountain Grizzlies and the Wind River Cougars, both of them 9-man teams. A run up the near side. And he'll be brought down. And that will be enough to move the chains for the Warriors. This game pretty much put to bed here. Like we said, one more time. Next time we'll be back on the air against the Riverton Spartans in Riverton for some middle school football to end the middle school season. And then volleyball that Saturday at Rocky Mountain, and then, that Friday, and then that Saturday, or on Saturday, good Lord, we'll be heading up to Powell for varsity volleyball for the Bobcats. It'll be our first of 2 trips to Powell. We will be covering volleyball on behalf of the Warriors in Powell in a couple of weeks. I believe that'll be the week. I think that'll be October 16th, if I'm not mistaken, or at least the week of October 16th. 1:30 to go here. It's time to deliver your Two Basins Sports Network Player of the Game. I think it's pretty obvious who this one's going to go to. As this kid has just done absolutely wonderful tonight. He's both on offense and defense. Braylon Kidgel is your Player of the Game for the Worland Warriors. Honorable mentions today include the likes of Cannon Tiedemann, Cade Heinemeyer, Johnny Thomas, and Edgar Fernandez. Honorable mentions today for the Bobcats include Tate Roberts, Tanner DeLay, and Mac Buckner. That's a run to the near side. He goes across the pylon, and he's short. 2 yards away there. Good job, though, to get there to the pylon, at least put himself in that position. Give credit where credit's due. 56 seconds on the clock here. So here comes Worland trying to punch it in. takes the snap, the handoff, and gets himself inside the end zone. Touchdown, Worland. J.J. Espinosa, the scorer that time. Haven't called his name at all tonight. He'll get in for the touchdown. One of the older players on the roster. In fact, he's the only junior on the JV roster for the Warriors. 24-0. And just the Warriors. 30-minute drive to get to Thermop here. And they've made the trip well worth it. 24-0. The fans from Worland over there on the far side coming in droves. And the pass to the near side, and he'll get in pretty easily. Patrick Coronado, the freshman, there on the two-point conversion. 26-0 is your score here in Thermopolis as the Bobcats start to break down just a little bit here toward the end of this game. And we'll be right back for the end of this one. 51 seconds to go here at LeRoy Hayes Field. I'd like to welcome you back here. Whoa, I lost my balance. Awesome. I'd like to welcome you back here inside of LeRoy Hayes Field as we get ready to witness the end of this game, our final broadcast for football until this coming Thursday. Get a couple days off. Then it's back for middle school action in Riverton. And then from there, that's pretty much going to be most of our 11-man coverage. We got one more 11-man football broadcast coming up. That is Worland JV against Riverton. And it'll be a run to the near side. They'll get enough to the 35-yard line. And they're just going to let the clock run. It looks, nope, never mind. They're going to stop the clock, 38.5. I was going to say, I thought they were just going to let the clock run there for the remainder. So the Bobcats will get one more crack at it on offense. Worland with no timeouts remaining. Has one to his hip. In shotgun set. Trips to the left side, and that is going to be a fumble. He'll pick it up and run with it. Tate Roberts has just been having to carry on those fumble recoveries for the night. He's not had good snaps, just being quite frank here. He's not had good snaps. And I feel like have he had better snaps, it would probably be a lot different. But timeout called for the Bobcats, and we're going to just stay on the air here. You know, this is a lot of stuff here that they need to work on with these young centers. And, I just don't have a very good feeling, just about the state of the O-line, just in general here. But Bobcats will try to take these lessons into the Jamboree against Rocky and Wind River. Couple of 9-man opponents. Should have some luck there anyway. So let's see what the Bobcats have. Trips to the left side here. Takes the snap, drops back, throws the screen to the far side. Buckner gets the catch. Weaves through one, and I think there was a flag or a mouth guard or something. I think it was just a mouth guard, but third down coming up. They will stop the clock here. So the Bobcats, I think, will use their final timeout. Yep, Bobcats with their third and final timeout. We'll stay on the air with you. And next varsity contest we got for you. Like we said, we will not be in Cokeville this Friday. We'll let the radio station do their thing. There's just not enough space at Nate Dayton Field in Cokeville for us to be there, as long as the radio station's going to be there. So we're going to instead go up and support our volleyball players in at Rocky Mountain. Just need an excuse to go to Cali, to be honest with you. Yeah, so we got that coming up, and then Friday or Saturday we got volleyball against Powell. So, but our next football broadcast should be next Friday, I think, against Lyman. We do have a JV game that we're going to cover for Worland against Riverton. We already said that we got three football games that we're going to cover for them on behalf of the Meeteetse Longhorns, including a middle school and a varsity game against KC and a varsity game against Riverside on their senior night. So should be interesting indeed. But so we got Lyman coming to town next week, and we'll be there for that. Throws it deep and can't quite get there. Now, a little bit of a disclaimer about that game against Lyman. Might be, there's always a chance, but you never know how six-man football is going to play out. We're going to be in Meeteetse next week for the six-man game against KC. We're going to be there for both the middle school and the varsity contest. Now, the middle school game will start at 12 in Meeteetse. The varsity game will be at 2. The game against Lyman, to the best of my knowledge, starts at 6. Takes an hour to get from Meeteetse to Thermopolis, so it shouldn't be an issue. But just keep in mind there is a non-zero chance that we could have a delayed start to our broadcast. I don't think it'll happen. Just depends on how the game goes between Meeteetse and KC. But just letting you know that on our programming side of things, and I'm sorry about the camera. Rolling out to the left side, pitches it. And that is Mac Buckner. He finds a hole down the near side to the 40, the 30, and he's tackled out of bounds, and that's the game. What a job by Mac Buckner to get some yards out of that, and that is going to be the conclusion of this contest. As the Worland Warriors walk out of Thermopolis with a 26-0 win. Revenge for the varsity game for the belt. And, of course, we'd like to just do our regular thanks before we wrap up for the night here in the press box. Of course, thank you to the Worland Warriors in the Washington County School District for coming out here, giving us a good show. Thank you to the Worland fans for making the trip, supporting your Warriors. Of course, thank you to Hot Springs County School District #1 for allowing us to be up here in the press box for once. And, it's been a really fun time being up here for the middle school and the JV game. Maybe one day we'll be up here for a varsity game, hopefully. In my dreams, right? So, with that being said, also thank you to our viewers here on YouTube for tuning in. You guys are absolute legends. We'll see you on Thursday for our next broadcast of middle school football. JV, no more broadcast, I don't think, on the Thermopolis side. We will have a JV game broadcast for Worland in a couple of weeks' time against the Riverton Wolverines. Until next time, though, thank you so much for tuning in here tonight from LeRoy Hayes Field. And until next time, please drive home safe and do not pet the buffalo. Worland Warriors win this one 26-0 over the Bobcats.